How solving problems can make you wealthy. Would you mind if I suggested that you were made to solve a problem? Now, allow me to say something briefly. You have God's answer to a need that He created, and you were born to remedy a problem. To put it another way, you are the response to a query. God anticipated their actions in your generation. Everybody came to this planet to handle and resolve issues for the sake of humanity. One of God's desires is fulfilled in you, which is why you exist. In your generation, you are the assignment. Like you, I was born to find a solution to the world's problems. I'm not getting any better. I'm not better than you. I recently discovered my problem, and my role is to assist you in discovering yours. You weren't created only to earn a living, settle debt, and pass away. You truly came into this world to solve a problem. Additionally, you are the answer. You are compensated for solving problems, by the way. Put things in writing as soon as possible. Don't work for money, you see. You know, you put in the effort to find answers, and then you get paid for it. You discover your wealth once you identify the issue. I'm listening to everything. These layoffs that are occurring. Sitting there, I'm getting poor. These folks are going to lose their minds about that. Was their existence. If you live your life at work, you truly need to ask God for revelation quickly if that's your life. Say with me, I'm required. Out loud. Now shut it. To put it another way, you are not an error. We need you, which is why you came to earth. Regardless of your concerns, we must assist you in finding it, however. You were created to find solutions to problems, and if you never do, the problems will continue to exist. There are many people in the cemetery who never find a solution to the issue they were created to solve. Helping you find it is one of my main life tasks. This is the purpose of the ministry. According to the Bible, He sent some teachers, pastors, evangelists, prophets, and apostles to train the saints for what and why their ministries work. To assist you in locating the administrative location. What is expected of you? That's what I do. I am unable to make you rich. I will show you your gift and assist you in locating your administration because I am unable to make you everything else. After you locate it. After that, you build up your physique by adding to it. Every joint supplies, according to the Bible. I appreciate that every joint supplies, meaning that the body applies anything you process. If you don't supply it, we're missing. You're not an error. Then, I told you that Moses is a problem-solving example. The problem you solve determines your value. Moses recognized the issue of slavery. Goliath's dilemma is resolved by David. Don't ask God to take away everything, please. You encounter Goliath. Give up praying that your success will save you. Do you realize that you shouldn't ask God to move the difficulty when it arises? You are introduced to yourself by the problem. King David would not exist if Goliath did not exist. Is that even possible? His passport to stardom was that giant. Tell your neighbor to kill it instead of fighting it. Give up attempting to evade the secret to your brilliance. This week's difficulties have been delivered to you in order to provide you with value. It wasn't until David killed Goliath that he became significant. When the issues are resolved, you become more valuable. Are you with me? Thus, when you return to work and encounter some challenges, accept them instead of avoiding them. Welcome to your brilliance, tell them. I'm going to murder a giant. You are never remembered for the things you choose not to do, by the way. Your survival is what people remember you for. Joseph saw the issue of dreams. What was Pharaoh Hara? In Egypt, he experienced an economic catastrophe. Who was the solver? The prisoner was Joseph. Sometimes incarceration is the answer, and if you identify and resolve your issue, you'll be able to leave prison and become a prince. Your value comes from your solution, not where you live. My troubles are directly related to the demands on my life. I understand that I must address leadership issues in the third world. That did, and the solution I continue to provide generated that desire. It is imperative that you refrain from searching for money. Solutions are followed by money. Why, in your opinion, is Bill Gates so wealthy? This chamber used to be the size of a computer. Were you aware of that? During the DOS era, Bill Gates was employed by IBM. I detest that thing. I was unable to recall them. You are aware that Bill Gates created Microsoft at IBM using formulas. When I brought it to the board, they stated it would never work. As a result, he left IBM. He developed a computer with his software while he was in the garage, and his program is now installed on all IBM computers. They were unable to see beyond their own tradition, even though it could have been theirs. How did he do it? He found a solution. Wealthiest man on the planet. Being a leader is not something you were born to do. Please put this in writing. Daniel's resolves the administrative issue. As the Bible stated. For Daniel, it reads, because of the quality of his work, King Nebuchadnezzar elevated him to the position of Secretary of State. He resolved Babylon's administrative issue and was elevated to the highest rank. You're solving a problem. Genocide is resolved by Esther. Recall that they intended to exterminate every Jew. She then entered. We can't forget that young woman because she solved a problem, and I'm going to solve this one today. I wonder if any young children in the Bahamas are on the verge of being ruined by prostitution or sex. Additionally, a young lady is meant to save them. Perhaps the issue in your neighborhood is where you're fantastic. He's currently quite busy attempting to pay his water and light bills. Every day, we pass the obstacle that should make us great. Look for problems if you want to be great, I discovered years ago. Pay attention to this race. This is crucial. Jesus' fame stems from the fact that he resolved the issue of sin. He saw sin and death as the world's most pressing issues. I was afraid to die, so I followed him. I am aware that you have a lot of faith. I was terrified. I should probably follow the guy who noticed their issue as I won't be returning. Thank the Lord if you're with me. He rose from the grave, you know. I'm accompanying him. Now, Muhammad, I understand, but I hear just him since I'm Confucius. I am aware of that, Buddha, but this brother was raised from the grave. Death is the greatest human fear, and this man found a solution. He did write this down because it reflects his worth. We have become so reliant on the government to meet our needs that we become helpless when the government is unable to do so. May God have mercy on us. In reality, we have made the government our economic parent. To the point where we no longer even think, and we only want to be slaves to the governmental machinery, a process known as employment. As a result, the majority of the governments in our region base their political agendas on promising new jobs. I hope we can come to this realization. Adam was never given a work by God. He never gave Adam anything, to start with. He gave everything he had to the world around him. Adam was never given a chair by God. And that brother will sit down at some point, I'm sure. He was never given a bed by God. Why didn't you give him a table? In the trees, he concealed them. You see, having a job keeps you from seeing the big picture. For this reason, those of us living in post-colonial nations constantly battle with unemployment and poverty. Additionally, we rely on outside investment because we've been conditioned to avoid seeing the trees table. We'd rather buy the table from Miami rather than construct it out of the tree. Everyone who has ever achieved success does so via their work. Fix the issue, and you'll recall the Miami basketball team's heat. Be here, brother, so you can play, they say. Would you like a couple of $1 million? You got a present and we got a problem. Hey boys, a gift problem, write that down. You were gifted with the ability to solve problems from birth. When the gift and the problem collide, the outcome is riches. Don't labor for pay. Money follows solutions, I assure you. Think about what I'm teaching now for the next 3 weeks. Please take a seat for the next 3 weeks. You must be a year away from leaving. You can allow the upcoming year to be as disorienting as this one. Searching for a place to retire while living your life. You had best start thinking outside of your work, I'll tell you that. What am I giving? What do I have going for me? What makes me special? What can I give the world that I possess? I'll go look for the issue. Everyone advised being a business. I believe. The secret is this. You are aware that God wants you to run your own business and that every issue is a company. When you figure out how to solve a problem, you start a business.